Hi guys, and welcome to another video. And yeah, this one is a serious one. They're not all gonna be, sadly, you know, the ones we all like, me included, the fun ones. And that's how life is, isn't it? Life's full of everything. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know which one you're gonna get. Love that guy. Love that movie. Anyway, basically, where do I start? I was just discussing with Sir that, because I have the option to do so, I really do believe, and to say this little story will help set the scene for you guys to understand what's in my head, because it's a little unfair, isn't it, for you guys to you share you know a lot about my life, but not all, because it's not Big Brother, is it? It's not like, that would be cool, if, because then you could really get to know me, the species of me. Yeah, pretty weird person. I think I'd be fun to live with personally. Now, look, I can't live with serious people. No offense. I can hang. But I must have banter in household. Otherwise, I get more stupid because I have to shake it up a bit. Because, yeah, that's just me. Anyway, back to the seriousness of this video, really, because it is. Because this is a tale about my whole life with something that destroyed it severely. I mean, is the causation of all of the destruction of my life. And it kind of makes me sad. Makes me sad for my family. And I'm talking about my parents, my children, and now my grandchildren. It's just a sad story. I never wanted to be a sad story. But when I got so sick as an adult, it shouldn't have been a surprise. But anyway, what I was wanting to say was, I'm thinking of getting letters to say to my family, this person isn't crazy. She's been very sick because she has a genetic syndrome that we just didn't pick up. Whoops. For 48 years. I was born with it. And explain that, because they did that to me. They caused that pain and suffering. And so has my family suffered. Everyone involved. Everyone involved. Because we've been lied to. It should have been picked up. 22q syndrome should have been picked up. End of story. It was screaming at them. So basically, let me remind you, as a child, I was very sick. I was born premature, nearly didn't make it. My grandfather would say, miracle baby, blah, blah, blah. Facts are in. Then, with 22q syndrome, you're lucky to get to 3. Well, I made it to 3. Yay me. Superstar. I did that. Resilience. No. I think that I'm blessed. I'm lucky to be here, because a lot of 22q children, babies, don't make it. I believe I was a twin. I know, like, some people out there will think that's absolutely crazy. Twins are prolific in my family. Massive, huge. It's a tale of its own. Needs a new video. Sorry. I believe I was a twin, and I believe when my mum, halfway through a pregnancy, had a massive problem. I believe she lost my twin. I've always felt this missingness. But anyway, and twin 2Q will do that, you see, because it's genetic. If she had it too, yes, I know it's a she. Anyway, look it up on twin studies with people that feel like they're a twin. And I don't know if you're aware, you're not going under there. No. Good boy. Just making sure I know you don't like that boundary, but I'm sorry. Boundary set. My little baby's always knew. When Mummy said no, I'm going to listen because Mummy doesn't normally do that. No. I spoiled my kids. Overcompensated. Anyway, so basically, but when push came to shove, okay, they ganged up on me. There's 2 of them to 1. It's tough. When you've got 2 to 1, those little buggers. Why do I love them so much? Anyway, so 22Q has always been there. Oh, that's right. The little fact, because I've studied this in psychology. Psychology studies a lot about even things like this. I know this might sound more medical than psychology, but we do, because we do a lot of twin studies. And because the reason why we do that is we look for traits and personality things. We look for, mainly, we do studies on twins that have never lived together and look at what they've ended up, once they've become adults, and what they've ended up, and the similarities, all the differences, etc. And it's fascinating. Anyway, once again, that could be a separate video. Look that up though, if you want to know. There's lots of different directions you can go with that. Fascinating. I was explaining the other day to my support worker. So before we go into like the real serious talk, I told you I couldn't be serious. We're sitting there at Pancake Day. We're having a great time. And I even got to see my friend Ella. Hi, Ella. And basically, I'm sitting there, and another gentleman had like a book there. He loves studying things. Love him. Cool, hey? Why not? So he's like got his pile of books, and we're all sitting around having pancakes, and the coffee was good. Coffee's always good there. We're all unicorns there. Love it. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and she's like, there was this neuro pathways, but not just neuro pathways, it was specific. And I was like, oh yes, no, right. So basically in your brain you have 1 billion synapses, and basically they're like little tentacles, and they sit like this, and there's a gap in between all of them, and you need the electricity for it to zap to hit the other one to communicate. And then that has to go through the billions of little networks and pathways. So say if you want to move your arm, like your hand like this, then it makes it do that. And so if you want to change that, like, muscle memory, that kind of thing, when you go to the gym, there's a muscle memory situation. Yeah, let's bring that theory in, like, as universally, and bring it into the brain. The brain is a muscle, and basically the brain, right, we have imprints and we have things that go on. And like when I have seizures, my brain goes, electricity goes wrong, makes my body do things it shouldn't do, right? Anyway, and she's like, well, I guess I don't need to read the book now. And I was like, no, I guess not. Sorry. She goes, no, that's okay. Like, wow, what? It's not about you guys today. Zip it. Enjoy your time watching. Anyway, I'll show you them in a minute. They're so cute. Shh. They're my audience. And they're very critical. Did you hear that? Bitchy, right? Anyway, yeah, that was funny. autistic, special interests, hyperfocus. I study psychology. But anyway, there is a lot of things you can learn in psychology. That's more than just behavioral connects to physical. And it's not, and this is the thing. Even those parts of psychology are evil. Freemason. Evil. Anyway, but basically, some of the parts that connects to the physical fascinated me the most. I mean, there was a point where I wanted to be a GP, but at the same time, there's also a point where I wanted to be a minister, a pastor. Not kidding. Stop. No. The boundaries, no. He's just plain possum. Oh, you're just going to touch it, are you? Look at this. He's going to touch it. Right, he's not allowed under there, right? So he wants to go under and go forward. And I'm like, no today, right? So what's he doing? What are you doing with that paw? I saw it flinch. You think you're fooling me? You think you're fooling your mother? No. A mother knows their children. Absolutely we do. Okay? Even my own mother knows me. Terrible, isn't it? Jeez. Anyway, missing my pretty head. That's enough from you critics over there. I can't have a serious conversation in my zoo. That's very pretty. But seriously, I'm trying to talk to the people. Belle, seriously. Sorry about that. I sincerely apologise on behalf of the ladies over there. Oh my goodness. They want to be part of the show, and they're going to be, but there's a reason why I'm not showing you straight away. I know, right? Basically, I know they're your flock. Can you look after your flock? Jesus wants you to. Yes. Jesus gave you the job of looking after them. Can you please go do that? Because they're driving mummy batshit crazy. No, he's not interested at all. He only just goes up and has a look when he wants to. Convenient. Children. You love them, don't you? Stop tapping. I love him so much, but he's naughty. Whoa, the head whipped around really quick then. He's listening. I mean it. Anyway, all my children are perfect. All of them. Even the ones that end up yours through marriage, like they'll all end up your children. And you all, don't mothers always say that, really? Well, good mothers do. I'm just saying, like, stop trying to have your say. It's inappropriate to swear on camera, even though mummy does it. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh dear. Okay. I'm not getting anywhere with these people. Okay, I call animals people. Yes, I do. Sorry. I know they're animals. I'm not stupid. Good boy. Take a rest. Seriously, you got your eyes closed, all of you, but you're messing with my head. Stop it. Stop. No, they think I'm crazy now. Jasmine. It's actually Jasmine causing that. Muffling under her breath like that. Jeez. That's why I didn't have daughters, thank God. Sons are better. Sons are better. You boy mums know it. They're better. They're so loving. Anyway, basically, the suffering that I've gone through. So, starting in childhood. It should have been picked up in childhood. It should have been picked up in childhood. And not so much for my father, but my mother, being that in those days how it worked, she had sole custody. We lived with her and only saw our dad every second weekend if that was going on. This is the way it was, right? very difficult because, look, I'm not gonna say that my father is. I'm not gonna say too much because I just feel like you've always got to understand that's your parent. But he did let me down a lot. I spent hours at the letterbox because he said he was coming. I'm autistic. He forgot my 13th birthday. I'll never forget that. And just, yeah, it's very tough. Divorced children go through a lot. Not all divorces are the same, but a lot of divorces are like that, actually, for the children, and it's disgusting. So my mother did try and get to the bottom of all of these health things as they popped up. Okay, now I wouldn't say that maybe she could have done more. Absolutely she could have done way more. She could have really pushed, but she wasn't a medical orientated person. She was more of a avoidant medical person for whatever personal reasons of why she doesn't like medical. Well, I guess I kind of understand why she doesn't like medical, but at the end of the day, like, she doesn't see people. Okay, my family, it comes from my grandmother, and once again, no judgment. My grandmother is the most loving, kind, accepting, open hearted, best host you could ever imagine. Her morals, her values, she's an absolute lady. I lost her when I lost my mum, though, but you know, judgments happen. People join in. Sad, but it's true. But when someone's harming you, you got to step away because they need to heal. But sometimes they don't want to heal, or even if they do heal, they don't want to come and say sorry and do the right thing, and it doesn't always happen. There's some of us that have never known a mum. Now, I think that for my situation, just to explain my Nana's situation here, she lost her mum when she was 10 years old. So she doesn't know how to be a mum. So nor did my mum know how to be a mum. But see, they've got each other, but I've got no one. My sisters just didn't really bond with me. So it's not just me that didn't find a connection. I couldn't find, there wasn't a bond because I didn't live with them, but they didn't even try either, really, to create a bond with me. And the pressure was on me because I'm older. Well, it just doesn't make it easier. You know, when you've got half siblings, you can't just go bond. There's got to be some facilitating of that, basically. And there never was. And it's got to come from both sides. But basically, my Nana doesn't sort of see look, it's how she's raised. It's just how it is, and I don't judge her for it. And I don't want you to, because she is a nice person. She is a good person. And deep down, my mother, she can be a good person when she wants to be. When she wants to be. She has done some nice things, but she still keeps choosing to be bitchy, sadly. And I've been on the other end of that. And I've seen other people on the end of that. And it just gets too much. But my Nana thinks that obesity, disability, and in the sense of disability, quality of life, what's the point? Except Then she was faced with my grandfather's severe health problems with a triple heart bypass at 50. But maybe she was ashamed of that too. I don't know. Maybe that taught her not to be ashamed of it. I don't know. I don't know. But disability in my family is a dirty word. And I was a disabled child and they all found me difficult. Because I was born with 22q 11.2 deletion syndrome. Missing 40 to 60 genes. It's a chromosomal disorder. And I'm suffering severely. And our life expectancy is 50s and I'm 50. With cardiac problems, GI problems, immune system problems, rheumatology problems, neuropsych problems, so memory, regression, my mental age. So, guess you just call it IDD, don't you? Just like my brother said, I was a retard. Now, I know that that's not appropriate speech now, but that was the time and era when people were using it. And I guess he was right. I'm intellectually disabled. Except I've had to live like this without people knowing that there's a name. That's what's wrong with me. That's why I'm also, on top of that, to put in here, I had my first panic attack when I was 6 years old. The fear was through the roof in childhood. So I had severe Skeeter's syndrome. If you want to look it up. Severe for years. It's horrendous. Food allergies. Eczema. As a child, I was constantly in pain, constantly suffering. And they never thought to check. Guess it's the 70s and 80s, guys. I was going through a lot. Without the acknowledgement, so my family would have, she's so difficult, oh gosh. Oh, she doesn't feel well again, oh my gosh. Or she's thrown up again, oh my gosh, she's eating too much. She's such a guts. But it's gastroparesis. And of course, naturally the aversion to eating too much in one go, and I became this bird. My father used to say it, oh, she eats like a bird, meaning you eat little bits. I naturally obviously did the gastroparesis style that they recommend before diagnosis. You know, I got all my diagnosis. I know why, but guess what? You can't go back. Can't get my relationships back with my family because 22q destroyed that. Because I'm difficult. The relationships were absolutely destroyed. My mother raised an autistic child. I remember her saying, you cut me out when you were a child, long time ago. No, I'm autistic and I've never been able to connect with people. And she didn't handle my autism or accept it. She was good with the fear and anxiety, I'll give her that. But still, she was the reason for my first panic attack, because she thought because I was so clingy as a child and needed a lot, like, to be near her, just to know that she was around. That's all I needed to know. And because of the delay, that was different to other kids who didn't need that anymore. she decided to start to leave when I was being cared for by someone else by not saying goodbye, because I make a big fuss if she leaves. But when my parents split up, naturally, a child naturally can react that way. When we were kind of lied to and told we're going on a holiday to the city, and then we find out that our parents are divorcing, of course you lose that trust. So when your other parent just wants to pop out without saying goodbye, my first panic attack hit. And I had many more after that. And then my own kids. Not understanding why I'm so sick all the time. Because even I don't have a good explanation except for chronic illness. All of the stupid things of fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue. Now those things are real and I've got them. I've got chronic fatigue because I had severe Epstein-Barr. So I hit what they call the peak of it, which really I should have been hospitalized, but my mum nursed me at home. And basically that was hell. It took me 6 months to recover, and then after that I never properly recovered for the rest of my life. I still have EBV shop in my blood still till today. I'm 50. That was when I was 17, and basically 17, just about 18. And basically the reason for fibromyalgia is just muscle pain because I have Ehlers-Danlos loss. So of course the muscles hold the joints in place. So you get a lot of pain in your muscles because all day long they're trying to hold everything in place because I'm lacking collagen. I was born with that rare syndrome as well. No. I've suffered. And I've gone to doctors and I've sat there and I've said, oh, yeah, the top of my back has gone totally numb. Like when I wash it, I can't feel it. Oh, that's your anxiety. Because I'm a chick. Misogyny. Female doctor, by the way. They are the most misogynistic, by the way. Unless you can find a good one, I'm telling you, they're the most misogynistic. It's like they've got to keep up with the boys. Women doctors, cut your shit out. All right? Stop the bitchy shit. Know better. Sorry, do better, because you know better. You know. Wow. They agree. You know better. So do better. Fuck off with your crap. Okay? You might as well strap one on, because I'm telling you right now, you are worse than the men at the gaslighting. So anyway, the numbness in the back was so not that. It's called Lyme disease. I don't know why I've got it. Been tested in Sydney. Got it. Lyme borreliosis. I have neuro-Lyme. Yeah. Probably because of my immune system too. It's not left me, sadly. It's still lingering. So, still causing problems. So basically, I've sat at doctors and I've heard the most ridiculous reasons for shit that I've gone in and said, you know, this is playing up, this isn't working, this is sore, this is happening. I mean, it's ridiculous. And because of my lots of presentations, what was happening before my diagnosis was they were going, oh my goodness, well, you've got all these things, yeah, whatever, okay. And this is even before my individual diagnosis of some things too. They were like, oh my goodness, like obviously you're full of shit because you've got all these things wrong. It's like, really? Like looking back now, really? Because I would have thought, as a doctor, that there's something more wrong. That person has some underlying problem. Because you've got a lot of problems, so we need to look really deep into you because It's not normal. Not you're fucking crazy. Something's not normal. Test. So anyway, we got tested all these things because we did our research online. We had the time. So once Serve stopped, self-funding us for 25 plus years, we had the time to research. We both are scientifically minded. I've done a science degree. I know how to read a scientific journal article, okay? It's fucking easy for me. And I've read a lot of them. And I've gone, oh, really? Well, okay, I'll pop off to the rheumatologist to get tested for that. And they go, oh, yeah, in fact, quite badly. Diagnosis written down. Oh, shit. Then I go to my gastroenterologist. He goes, well, if you've got that, oh, and you had hyperemesis gravidae in pregnancy, oh, then you must have that. Anyway, courtesy out on a stupid check. Hang on. Oh, good. Nothing. He's fine. We live in an apartment building, so it's probably something maybe out. Oh, my goodness. Maybe something outside. So, I've suffered pain endlessly. This makes me so... Anyway. I just want to punch a wall right now. You know the kind of sadness that also makes you angry. You want to punch a wall. What's happened to me with my health has ruined my whole life. And my children still think I'm crazy. Because that's why I'm saying I'm going to try and get a letter from the hospital for them to say that it's their fault. That yes, they have failed me. That they were wrong. That they treated me wrongly. That they shouldn't have done those things. They shouldn't have treated me that way. Because they're dead wrong to the point of DNA is 99.9% accurate. My oxygen is getting worse by the day. And we are dealing with immature, petulant little children called the health system in Australia. 78% oxygen is what I'm now going to. Heart failure. I'm dying. And no one listens. People just move on. I'm 50. I know some people might think that's old, but it's not. I've never met my grandchildren because of this system. Because you, system, lied about me. And more than giving me this medical care, it was supposed to right the wrong that you've done. And I need to prove, obviously, because this is the type of world we live in now. It's everything needs proof. So if I have to get a letter from the hospital to get my children back, then I will. But this is how much damage they've done to my life. Imagine my mother. I'm sure when she sits quietly to herself including my grandmother, who also helped raise me. She was a massive part of my life. She was my hero. She was my dancer. I'm sure when they sit quietly that they feel, or they should feel, let down by the same system because they were lied to too. And they were never given the assistance that I should have been given. And when they don't give assistance to your carers and burn them out like they're doing to Sir, abusing him, oh, you can just do this treatment on her at home, and you can just do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Okay, chickens. They can probably hear the water. And what does that turn people off? Me. Because it's too hard. Not everyone wants to be a part of people like me's life. Not everyone wants to be part of disability life. And that's why I get so mad when some people make judgments of, oh, just because this kid's nonverbal, they're the most sickest in the village. Bullshit. Bullshit. I am so sick and tired of the stereotype crap. Some of us that can talk are more disabled than an autistic kid who can't talk. More disabled. I'm dying. And no one gives a shit. My friends don't visit. My parents don't care. My children don't care. All I have is Sir and his sister. And of course, my carer, my disability people, my world, who are in my disability world. That's the reality. That's common. Not what you see on TV, not the stories you hear on TV. They're the exception. They're the rare. The rest of us are just sitting in our homes, suffering, struggling, trying to make the most of what we have in our life and trying to live our life to the best. Do I know how long I've got? No, I don't. No, I don't. I mean, Ether just doesn't really feel confident putting me under even. And nor do I. Nor do I. Because you know what? I wish I was sick back in the days when my grandfather was sick with his heart condition, because I'm telling you now, the more you know, yes, it's great in one way, but then in the other way, the more you know, the harder it is. And when my geneticists, and they're nice, don't get me wrong, but when they said, oh, anything else you need to know, you can just Google it. And when I Googled it, the first thing I saw at 48 was that you can not make it past your 50s. And then I tried to look up people that have survived longer, and it's just like, I couldn't. This is when I was 48, just about to turn 49, literally 1 month away from 49. And I was actively having cardiac symptoms, a lot less than now, but obviously it was starting. And the reason for my heart attack, NDIS, stress. The government has ruined my life. But how can so work and look after me? Because you know what? Majority, to be honest, my experience of carers are in it for the money. And family, well, they just don't give a shit. And I'm not alone. There's a place in the northern part of Perth where they put people that are just severely disabled like me, or different kinds, and where no one wants them, that's where they go. There's a place for that. I just want to know that I'm going to die in peace, but I won't. How can a mother die in peace, a grandmother die in peace with how it is now? I won't. Yeah, I'll have Sir. Yeah, I will. But I will never die in peace. Because a mother can't just switch off. A mother can't just switch off to her grandchildren and her children. She can't. I can't leave this world worrying about them not be there to say goodbye. I can't. I will not die in peace. And I blame the WA Health Department for that. I absolutely do. Because of the late diagnosis, I can't go back. It is what it is. This is my fate. And I'm not saying that they're responsible for me having 22q, but it would have been a lot better if they picked it up sooner, and they should have. Because I have been to EDs more than I've been to going out to dinner, to the pub. I've been at ED on the weekend more than that. Because that's when Sir's got the time to be up until ungodly hours instead of going to work without sleep. It's disgusting. But we can't go back. This is it. And like I said, there's so many things I'd like to talk about further, and one day I will. I can't. I've talked about that before in a podcast, but basically, I just have to focus on making sure I leave something behind for my family. As much as possible, in many different ways as possible. That's my focus. But instead, not instead, wrong word, but really, like always, what I do. Hence why I want to have this chat, so that you know that this is also part of things, because I don't think for a while you're seeing my personality. And I know most of you who've been watching this channel or my previous channels, and this channel being the one that, of course, you guys know I'm sticking at, but basically you guys know my personality in sense of just, I'm sure you've seen the changes, that I'm just not the innocent, carefree as what I used to be. Because I never thought that I would meet such evil. But I did. And I've been digesting how hard my life has been because of this. It has touched every part of my life. It has ruined every part of my life. My career, my education, my raising of my children, our lifestyle. I've missed out on so much. I was sitting with my disability peeps and they mentioned, because I've moved here, hey, we do some surfing down there. And I was like, thank goodness. As in disability surfing. I'm not going to be on my own. I will have someone totally behind me on a board, longboard. I will not be left to with how to say what I am. But I said, yeah, I'm in. So what I do, which is what I was trying to say, sorry. So I wake up every morning. It's a bit like Taylor Swift's song. You know the song that she sung? I can do it with a broken heart, about her breakup, right? I get up every day. Because in that song she says, you know, I'm so depressed, I act like it's my birthday every day. Well, guess what I do? I wake up every day as if none of this is real. I do. And it's not even that hard because I love life so much. I don't want to leave. It's not my choice. And if medicine keeps me alive, I'll be so grateful. Hard to feel that trust when it's been so broken. I mean, medical PTSD is a real thing. And my trust is shot. But I do get up every day as if I'm going to be okay. I don't ever wake up thinking, oh, I'm dying. I don't. I wake up and I go, okay, what am I doing today? Just like when they said, well, you know, because summer's coming up in Australia, right? Yeah, let me know when the surfing. Tell me more about it next time I see you, because I'm in. I want to surf. Not that I'll be surfing, you know, but like, we'll see. But I'm in. And that's how I live my life. And when I have more time and more energy, I'm also going to visit my horses. So I've been wanting to do that. There's horses I could visit every week. And I haven't made it once yet. Anyway, that's just, I just wanted to share that because sometimes you have to honor that you've gone through it. And I just want you people to know that, like, I haven't just got chronic illness, unfortunately. I haven't started off getting interest in adulthood. I have been a sick kid. I remember all of it, the struggles constantly. There was always, I mean, Mum would be like, oh gosh, and this and that and this, and everyone else would hear the stories and go, wow, geez, oh, that, more, and there's more, and again, and more, and again. So there was no excuse for them not picking it up. And it's just, I'm 50. That's a long time to struggle. So yeah, I'm getting a little bit frustrated because the public system could do way more and could step up way more, and that's what I'm always going to be hopeful for. But It's just really sucky in Australia, guys. It's not what you think. Rare syndromes don't really get it easy. And look, if in saying that, if you've got very supportive parents and they're with you even as an adult with your consults, you'll do fantastic. But I'm telling you, my neglect has continued and continued and continued because I've never been supportive from the beginning. Unfortunately, like I said, my parents didn't want to focus on my medical, okay? For whatever reasons. Only they know that. And then the doctors, obviously, they could have done more. Because it was unusual as a child, is what I'm saying. So it's not just as an adult that's like a real clusterfuck of symptoms and problems. As a child, it was evident. And I'm under the same WA health system my whole 50 years of life. So there's no excuse. And finding out, you know, a month before you turn 49 is too late. If you're dying in your 50s, it's like, no, that's like, don't even call it a whoops. Because it's just, here I am, look at me. My heart's failing. It's great. It's wonderful. Thanks. You really got there in time, didn't you? I mean, you could have come in when I was in maybe my 40s, maybe. When I just had an arrhythmia, an angina. You could have come then. That would have been a lot better. But no. They just weren't listening. And I believe it's because I'm a woman. I'm a woman. Misogyny is alive in medical in Australia. And I'm telling you now, some of you, one of you who's Australian, go to the media if you've suffered this. Go to the media and make a big deal of it because it's really rife and it's really disgusting. Because they were dead wrong with me and they're finding it so hard. I've not heard the word sorry. I've not heard it yet. Except for the genesis saying, you know, it's kind of like when someone's about to tell you bad news and it's like, how are you? And you hear it in the voice. It's like, how are you? How are you going? How's everything been lately? And you know they're sensing what kind of like state of mind you're in right then to receive it. And they knew my outcomes and they knew my age. So anyway, truth has to be told. I'm a truther, guys. And this is my living journal. And it'll be a journal that hopefully, in case my family need it, it's here when I'm dead and gone. Or when I'm alive, whatever, I don't care. But it's here. This is the truth. WA Health Department, you let my parents down, my family down, you let me down, you let my little family down, my sons, my grandsons. I fucking hate you. That's how I feel. Because I've written letters to politicians prior to diagnosis. I have had referrals rejected. I have had written letters to the health department, you guys, WA Health Department, okay, to complain. Shame on you. It's not good enough. It's just fucking not good enough. Sorry. Do better. And guys, let me leave you with this. Be proactive in your own health and your children's health. Don't trust them. They're untrustworthy. If you're female or you've got daughters, protect them and protect yourself because they're full of shit. the misogynistic, dismissive, gaslighting, overshadow other diagnoses from other professionals. It's outstanding what they do. Astounding, sorry. I can't believe what they do. And then the other specialists find out and go, excuse me, it's rude, right? They've done their diagnostics. So that's my last thing to leave you with. Be proactive. If you know something's wrong and they're telling you otherwise, you need to stick at it. And you don't let go. Do your own research as well. So I'll leave you with that. But thanks for listening to my story, because this is the evil, dark side of medical and what happened to me in medical. This is my experience. So please be kind in the comments, because if your experience or your family's experience was different, respect the fact that everyone's experience is different. Based on state they live in, based on lifestyle they've had, based on family support, whether they've had it or not, based on all sorts of doctors they've seen, who those doctors are. It's based on that as well. So please understand that. And if you say, oh, healthcare's amazing in Australia, well, I'm glad you've experienced good healthcare in Australia for what you've had, but I'm sorry, it's actually not for medically complex patients. Unless, like I said, you've got supportive parents, because the parent being right there going seems to kick their ass into gear. So just understand that there's differences, meaning different outcomes come from it. So anyway, don't forget my message. Be proactive about your healthcare. Until next time, thanks for listening to my story. I really appreciate it.